ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां नारायणं पद्मभवं वसिष्ठं शक्तिं च तत्पुत्रपराशरं च व्यासं शुकं गौडपादं महान्तं गोविन्दयोगीन्द्रमतस्य शिष्यं श्रीशङ्कराचार्यमतस्य पद्म पादं च हस्तामलकं च शिष्यं तं तोडकं वार्तिककारमन्यान् अस्मद्गुरून् सन्ततमानतोऽस्मि श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम् ॐ श्री चिन्मय सद्गुरवे नमः। 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 नमः श्री शङ्करानन्द गुरुपादाम्बुजन्मने सविलास महामोह ग्राहग्रासैककर्मणि। The Sankyans would say, Prakritihi asti eva yata purusha asti tata prakriti asti eva. Both are realities. As much of the Purusha, the individual self who has Chetanatvam in him, so also Prakriti, which has the gunas, are also present. And the Purusha and Prakriti are both are Nityam. And whenever the Purusha is in touch with the Prakriti, there is bondage. The bondage is created by the contact. And Purusha, for all his experiences, must have Prakriti as the means. And therefore, this Prakriti is mentioned also in the Upanishad, Mahata Param Avyaktam Avyaktat Purusha Paraha Ityadi. But there, Mahata Param Avyaktam. Avyaktam is Prakriti. Avyaktam iti Prakriti Ruchate Shrutau asangata tadvad asango hi ityatah sputa. In this context, when the Prakriti is not, the Purusha is not in touch with the Prakriti, is remaining as Asangaha. Purushaha Asangaha Prakriti Viyoge. When the Prakriti is not there, is Asanga. But all experiences are through Prakriti only. So this is already stated in the Upanishads, Kathopanishad, and therefore Sankhya hold the view that Prakriti hai and Purush bhi hai. This is their basic tenet. And how they build up, you have to see. Now, continuing in the verse, next number 102, he's taking up the topic of Ishvaraha. Now, Prakriti and Purusha are accepted by Sankhyains, but not Ishvaraha. Now, in the Sankhyan philosophy, Prakriti is not Maya. The very definition of Maya is what? Illusion. But Prakriti being a reality for the Sankhyans, there is no question of Prakriti being an illusion. Prakriti is not an illusion. Prakriti is a reality. Prakriti is matter. Prakriti is real. Prakriti is also eternal. And Prakriti is through which the Purusha experiences this world. All that are held by the Sankyans. And Vedanta, obviously, to explain the present situation of all of us, why a jiva is going through the experiences of pain and pressure, etc., to explain that, they have to take up the analysis of Prakriti as described by the Sankyans. Though Vedanta ultimately does not accept the Sankhyan view of permanency of the Prakriti or eternality of Prakriti, but the explanation about Prakriti is accepted. Why? Because presently, until the realization of the one reality, which happens only when the falsification of Prakriti as illusion takes place, the reality of what we experience in the world must be explained. And Sankyans have done it. That's why we say in Gita also, Bhagavan elaborately goes on the three gunas, right? From 14th chapter onwards, he started that. 14, 16, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. In all that, he has taken Sankhyan views. To so explain in the Ajnana Bhomo yad Jivaha Anubhavati tat Prakritehe Hetuna. Because of the Prakriti alone, a Jiva is experiencing all this. So Prakriti asti for the Nijarupena asti Sankyans. But for the Vedanta, it is Maya Rupena. The form of Maya, which is subject to falsification. Badidam bhavati jnana utpatyanantanam. Jnana praptau Maya is understood as merely an illusion. Mithya eva sa mithya eva sa badita bhavati. Becomes false. But Sankyans don't hold that view. Now comes the Ishvara debate on Ishvara. Earlier we have seen Jiva. Jiva is Chetanam va, Achetanam va, Jadam va, Ajadam va, ityadi. Various deliberations took place. A small, big, medium size, all that discussion took place. Now Ishvara. Ishvaraha kaha. First of all, Ishvaraha astiva. If it is there, what is the role of Ishvaraha? Who is Ishvaraha? And how does he play in Bandha and Moksha? Now, who holds the view that there is Ishvara? Sankyans don't. There are two kinds of Sankyans, those who are Anishvara Sankhya Darshan and Saishvara Sankhya Darshan. Sa Ishvara means along with Ishvara. But here he had specifically taken Vidyaranya about Yoga Marga, Patanjali Yoga, as Ishvara Pranidhana, as a part of the Niyama. Yama Niyama, in that if you see the Niyama, every Yama has got 5 aspects, Niyama has got 5 aspects. In the Niyama, there is this statement of Ishvara Pranidhanam as one of the Niyamas. Now that is very clearly shows that they have taken the presence of God as real. Now what is or who is God according to them? Let us start from there. So here, Chitsannidho pravruttayaha prakrtirhi niyamakam Ishwaram bruvate yogaha Sajivebhyah parashrutah Chitsannidho pravruttayaha Prakritirhi niyamakam Ishwaram bruvate yogaha Sajivebhyah parashrutah. Prakriti is jada. Self-volition is not there for Prakriti. Prakriti cannot do anything on its own. It is na chetanam. Achetanam na swayam prakashayati na swayam janati api. It does not know itself, nor it can shine itself. Chetanam vina jadasya astitvam na siddhyate. Without the consciousness, Jada's existence cannot be understood. Right? If a tumbler is there, if nobody watches there, is it there or not? है ही नहीं. क्यों? कोई नहीं देखा. Its existence is not known to any conscious being. So its existence is possibly can be reported only when a conscious being has seen it. Right? Then only it is said to be existing. Otherwise, its existence is not known. So many galaxies are there, said to be there. Even who saw it? Unless you have that special telescope through which you people see it. Oh, that's there. So then, unless it is noticed and recognized, its existence is not known. Or it has to clash and clash and clash and clash, and suddenly it comes and impact us. Oh, there is something happening there out there. That is then known. So Prakriti hi jadam. So that jada Prakriti, because of which it is able to express itself. Chit sannidau pravruttayaha prakritehe. The prakritehe pravruttayaha of the Prakriti, all the various manifestations, where does it happen? Chit sannidau. In the presence of consciousness. So it is said here, Chit Sannidho, in the presence of the Chit consciousness alone, is Prakriti, which is Jadam, is subject to manifestation. So who is that, or what is that which is now capable of making the Jada Prakriti able to express itself? That, we are not talking about human physical body. We are talking about sun, the moon, the fire, the air, the water, the earth, the plants, and all these things which are not plants, but all other things which are inert by nature. Why? How they are able to do their field of activities. And they don't cross each other. The sun does what it does, the moon does what it does, the air does what it does, water, fire, air, earth, all. So there must be a niyamakaha. Niyamakaha means the one niyamanam means is an order. One who puts them in order. So niyamakam hi Ishwaram Pruvate Yogaha. Yoginaha, men of that yoga marga, they say, Hai koi. Iski, he is called Niyamakaha. Niyamanam Karta. Niyamaka means Niyamanam Karta, one who orders. That one is Ishwaraha. Ishwaram Bruvate Yoga. And as we all know, Jiva is not controlling the sun, moon, water, fire, air, etc. So there is a Chaitanam. He's also Chaitanya only. Otherwise, he cannot be Jada. So there is the Chaitanya form of a higher order. Because we observe and understood that a Jiva cannot command the earth, water, fire. Please understand, yogis also accept Prakriti as real. As much as Sankyans would say, because they are one step little more than the Sankyans, Sankyans accept Prakriti and Purusha, but not Ishvaraha. Now they say, how can the Prakriti do anything by itself? There has to be someone who is able to control their behavior. But as we know, Jivas cannot control their behavior. There must be somebody else who's controlling it. This view is pretty much closer to all religious views. You take Christianity or Islam or Judaism or religious percepts of the Hinduism, Sikhism, and many others who are worshipping God. Who's God? The one who is controller of the universe, but not like Jiva, who is controlled. The Jiva is not controlling the sun and the moon and the water and the fire and air and all that. So there must be someone who is keeping them doing their work. So therefore, Saha Jivebhyaha Paraha. Therefore, he is Paraha, greater than Jivebhyaha, than all the Jivas. This is the point of view of the yogi. So the Yoga Marga, Yoga Darshanam accepts the theory of Sankyans in terms of Prakriti hai or Purush bhi hai. Purusha hai, Jiva hai, Prakriti hi Jadam, Jiva hai, Chetana hai, Tatabi Ekah Jishwarah Asti Eva, Chetana Saha, and Sarvatra Sarvasya Niyamakaha. One who controls all the things which Jiva na kurute. The Jiva cannot do that. If Jiva can do that, then there will be no problem. Hey, son, don't come tomorrow, okay? Sunday. But at the same time, sun by itself cannot do also. Sun is not on its own decides whether to come or not. There's no volition because it's Jadam by itself. So this way, yogis have their point of view that Ishvaraha Asti. So Sankyans don't accept that. Anishwaravadins won't accept that point of view. So it's Paraha Shrudaha. It is heard. What? Jivebhyaha Paraha Ishvaraha iti Shrudaha. Kaha Ishvaraha Niyamakaha. Kasya Niyamakaha Jadasya. Kaha Jadaha Prakritihi. What is Prakriti? Prakriti is which is the matter. Prakritehe pravrityaha chit sannito hi. Niyamakam Ishwaram iti yogaha bruvate. Saha Jivebhyaha Paraha iti Shrutaha. This is how it is, we understood. All right. Now, where is it said? You said Shrutaha. Hmm. So you have to show, because what is the methodology we have seen? Refute the previous guy, right? Through a logic. Previous argument has to be refuted with the logic. And then you have to prove with the Shruti. So which Shruti declares that there is Ishvara? And who is the Sarva Niyamakaha? Where is it said? So here. Pradana Kshetrajnapatihi Gunesha iti hi Shrutihi Aranyake Sambramena Yantaryam Yupapaditaha Pradana Kshetrajnapatihi Gunesha iti hi Shrutihi Aranyake Sambramena Yantaryam Yupapaditaha. Shrutihi Upaditaha. Shruti has mentioned what? Pradana is Prakriti. Pradana is Prakriti, and Kshetrajna is the one who is Purusha. Kshetram Janadi Purusha. Kshetrajna. Tesham Patihi. The Pradana Kshetrajna Patihi is the Lord of both Prakriti and Purusha. Because Purusha here, Jiva should be understood. Because Jiva has no ability to control the nature, nor the nature can control itself. So both of them are controlled by something else. So that one is Patihi. Patihi, superior, controller, Niyamakaha. So Pradana Kshetrajna Patihi, and he is Guna Ishaha. Prakritehe Gunanam Ishaha. He is the Lord of the qualities of Prakriti also. Because he, unlike Jiva, Ishvara is not one who is controlled by Prakriti. Even when he comes in contact with that. Like Jiva, when he comes in contact with the Prakriti for the sake of experiences, obviously he gets overpowered by the Prakriti itself. See, until you wake up, there is no question of you getting disturbed by anything outside. Why? You are in one of the gunas, tamas. I am Thomas. Sorry, I am in tamas. So when you are in tamas, in tamoguna, pravritti is there. At that time, raja and rajas and tamas and sattva are not there. Meaning, they are subsided. But then you wake up, rajas takes over. Hardly sattva anytime. Maybe when you are sitting in the temple thinking about God, maybe some little sattva will come. Or when you're reading some Upanishad or Gita or any one of those, then there is sattva. So, predominantly you are in one state of guna or another, tamas, rajas, or sattva. But Ishvara is one who is not a victim or the servant or the slave to any of the gunas. It's a guna isha, gunesha. So, Pradana Kshetrajna Padihi Guneshaha iti hi Shrutihi. This is how the Shruti indicates Ishvara. Where? Aranyake. In general, Aranyaka means Upanishad. But here it is Brihadaranya. Brihadaranya Upanishadi Asambramena, unambiguously, very clearly, doubtlessly, he what? Antaryami iti upapadyate. Antaryami iti, as the inner controller. He is not only the inner controller of the jivas as Kshetrajna, but also he is the inner controller of all of them. He is not controlling from outside. He is very intelligent. I won't control from outside because you run away. I'll control from inside. You cannot run away. Wherever you go, I'm there before you. I control from within. So, antaryami iti upapadidaha. In Shvetashvara Upanishad, it is very clearly stated, Nityo nityanam chetanas chetananam eko bahunam yo vidadadi kaman tat karanam sankhya yogadigamyam jnatva devam muchyate sarva papaihi. It is said, Nityo anityanam. He is the Nitya among the Anityas. Chetanas chetananam is the consciousness of the all consciousness. Eko bahunam, one among the many. Yo vidadadi kaman, and he provides for all the desires that an individual seeks. Tat karanam sankhya yoga digamyam, that which is the very essence or the cause of everything, which is known through Sankhya Yoga. Jnatva devam, having understood that being, a presence of the Deva, muchyate sarva papai, one becomes released from all the impurities, all the sins. So, it's Shveta Ishvara Upanishad. Not sorry, the Ashvara Upanishad. Shveta Ashvara. But actually, Ishvara is the very important subject in Shveta Ashvara. Because there the explanation is given. And he says, Pradhanapadihi, Kshetrajnapadihi, Guneshah. Now you see, in the Brahadaranyaka Upanishad, it is said, Tam antaryaminam vettaya imam cha lokam param cha lokam sarvani cha sutani o antaro yamayati. In Brahadaranyaka Upanishad, he says, Yaha antaraha yamayati. He is from within, he is controlling what? Tam antaryaminam vetta, understand him to be the antaryamin. Ya imam cha lokam, param cha lokam, in this world as well as the higher world, sarvani cha bhutani, in all the beings, among all the beings, yaha antaraha yamayati, is mentioned to be one who is controlling from within as an antaryami. That's what is mentioned here. Aranyake asambramena antaryami iti upadita. It's been mentioned as antaryami. So therefore, he is the one who is controlling both. What? He is controlling both Jiva and Jagat. Jagat here is Prakriti, Jiva here is Purusha. Purusha here means one who is a Chetanam, one who is conscious. So this way, both of them are controlled by one who is also Chetan only, but he is of the higher order. This is how Yoga Marga, Patanjali Yoga Ityadi, they mentioned him as Ishvaraha. And many people, majority of the people who do not understand Vedanta clearly would consider there is this Ishvaraha who is different from the Jiva and who controls the Prakriti, and we are all subservient to him. This is accepted in the Dvaita Marga as real. They are as good as the Saishvara Sankhyans. So all the Dvaita Margins are all what? They accept Prakriti as real. If the Prakriti is not real, where is the need for Ishvara then? If creation is not there, where is the creator? If the wife is not there, who are you as husband? If you don't have children, how can you be a parent? If you have nobody around you, how can you be a boss? So Ishvara, then he has the Ishidum Shakyate. So one who is able to control, is no, nothing to control, then how can you say I am a controller or what? Nothing. How can you be a controller and nothing? So, Dvaita Margins have considered Prakriti as real. And because of which Ishvara is also real. Because of which Jiva is different from that Ishvara. And because of which the Dvaita. The duality is established by recognizing or accepting Prakriti as true. But Vedanta puts the carpet down there. If Prakriti itself, I can prove it to be unreal, then there is a question of you are different from Ishvara then. So here, Saishvara Sankyans are as good as the Dvaita Margins, or Dvaita Margins are as good as the Saishvara Sankhyan. So, this is how Shvetashvara Upanishad explained, Prakadarani Upanishad has explained. Now, when it is said Antaryami, there are two aspects of Prakriti is there. Two aspects are there, the Adibhutam and Adhyatmam. Two aspects are there. Adibhutam means that which is external. Adhyatma means internal. In other words, both Vyashti and Samashti are controlled by Ishvara. Vyashti meaning external. Vyashti is that which is individual, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and body, etc. These panchakoshas are considered as the Jiva's upadis. And this controller of this, that is why referred as Kshetrajna. The controller of this is Vyashti Prakriti. Whereas when you take up the entire creation as such, then it becomes Samashti Prakriti. So Ishvara is one, is the Antaryami of both Vyashti and Samashti. Both the individual and the collective. Individual and the total. So we must understand that Ishvara is not only controlling external things of the world, but also at the same time is controlling from within. See, this interesting point is, in Gita, when Bhagavan is talking about Ishvara, as though he's talking about dualities, as though he's talking about Dvaita. So that's why people get confused. Ishvara sarva bhutanam hriddeshe arjuna tishtati brahmayan sarva bhutani yandra rutani maya. Are? What is he saying there? Ishvara sarva bhutanam hriddeshe tishtati. Ishvara is sitting in the heart of everyone. Brahmayan, as though deluding. Sarva bhutani, all beings. Yandra arudhani mayaya. Mayaya Brahmayan. He is with his power called Maya. He is making everybody doing whatever they are doing. Yada sarvani bhutani yena sarvamidam tadam swakarmanatam abhyarcha siddhim bindadi manavaha. From whom everything has come. Yena sarvani bhutani. But from yada sarvani. But from whom alone everything has come. Yena sarvamidam tadam. By whom alone everything is pervaded. Swakarmanatam apyarcha. By your own action, having worshipped him, siddhim bindadi manavaha. One obtains the highest. So many places you will find he has taken the Sankhyan view of Prakriti as well as Ishvara as an external reality who controls from within and outside. One would get confused about, what is he? And he himself says, Krishna says, actually, I am surrendering to him. One place. So, you'll wonder what is he up to. But, Krishna is Krishna only. This is the viewpoint from the standpoint of ignorance. Then he will turn around. Is it? But really speaking, there is this falsification of the Prakriti. So, Antaryami, both in the form of Vyashti, Samashtim, Vashtim cha Samashtim, Yamayati, he the one Niyamakaha, one who is the controller of both. All right. Now, continuing here, Asambramena upaditaha. Very unconfusingly it is said that. Now, in this, about the Ishvara also, there is some debate. So, yogins have explained it that there is Ishvara. But in that also, there are certain, what is called kalaham. Kalaham means disagreement. When disagreement increases, they start kalagam. DKK, MKK, KKK, BKK, CKK, and all that starts. In Sanskrit, kalagam means what called disputes, disagreements. So here, atrapi kalahayante vadinasvasvayuktibihi vakyanyapiyata prajñam dardyayodaharantihi. Atrapi kalahayante vadinasvasvayuktibihi vakyanyapiyata prajñam dardyayodaharantihi. Atrapi. Atrapi means Ishvara Vishaye api. In this context of Ishvara also, Vadinaha, those who are arguing, kalahayante, they come to start having disagreements. How? Swayuktibihi. With their own logics. What is the nature of any argument? My viewpoint is different from your viewpoint. What is my viewpoint? According to me. According to my logic or reasoning, it doesn't agree with your reasoning. Therefore, we will have to debate it out and find out what is the truth. So, Vadis are those who have their own pet arguments. So, swasva yuktibihi, and also quoting the Shastra, Vakyani abhi. They know how to quote the Shruti also. They will say, hey, my point of view is right because here you see, this Shruti has very clearly stated this. So, very often what we find is they quote the Shruti all right, but out of context. They take it out of context and say, see, this is what it said. Then if you go back and see the previous verse, the next verse, or the context in which it is said, then it is not valid. So, Vakyan api yata prajñam, according to their own understanding of it. So here, atrapi kalahayante vadinaha swasvayuktibihi vakyani api yata prajñam. According to their understanding of the Shruti Vakya. So, and very forcefully, Dardya, Dridata, Dardya with so much of force, so much of insistence, and very, and Dardyaya Udaharantihi. Dardyaya, for their own determination, Udaharanti. See, in Sanskrit, the word Udaharanam, usually in many of the languages, Udaharanam is example. Udaharanam actually is not example. And even though that's what we use. Because the very word Ud Aharanam, in Sanskrit, Ud Aharana. Aharana means to bring. Ud, lifting up from somewhere and bringing it here. It's actually quoting. Udaharanam is quotation. Quoting an instance, quoting a statement. That is called Udahar. So here, Upama is the right word. In Tamil, it's called Uvamai. Uvamai is different from Udaharanam. I don't know how many of you Tamil which you can understand. Uvamai is Upama. Not upma, uvamai, upma, not upama, and uvamai, Tamil. Ud aharanam is coating, because the very word means lifting, ud ahar, bringing it here. So here, udaharanti, they bring it out. From where? From the Shruti, they pick it up and then show Etha Prajnam, according to their understanding, to establish Dhargyaya, to forcefully establish what? Swaswa Yuktibihi, with their own logic, Vadinaha Kalahayante, Atrapi, Atra Ishvara Vishayapi. So, now we should start understanding. Obviously, when we look at our own experience in this world, when we observe through our senses and the mind, the world around us, we realize that the world had been there even before I came into this body. And it is continuing to be there even as I leave this physical body. So obviously, Jiva is not Ishvara. Transactional level, from the Vyavaharika Sattayam, in the transactional reality, one must accept that I, as a Jiva, is one who is experiencing the world, not controlling the world, controlling what is happening. So, from the transactional level, Ishvara has to be accepted. There's no doubt about that. But that is not Paramarthikam. So, what these, most of them who argue about Ishvara would, quoting the Shruti, what do they say? As against the Vedantins, to argue against them, they would say, like for example, Karma Kandins. What do we say? Karma ka jo phal milta hai, wo kisse milta hai? Result of action are not decided by the jivas. Karturajnaya prapyate palam. Kartuh ajnaya, Ishvara ajnaya parapyate palam. This is where it starts. So, Ishvara hai karma phala data. So, if karma kandins would say, कर्म करो, उसका फल ईश्वर से मिल जाएगा. But करना चाहिए. You have to do the action, then the result of that action will be provided to you by Ishvara. Right? So this is the understanding with which the entire ritual-based teachings are going on. So at the transactional level, we accept that point. But the point of view of Vedanta is not just at the transactional level, because moksha karma phal se nahi milta hai. This is also established. What? Karma kim param karma dacharam kriti mahodado padana karanam palama shashvatam. So क्या होता है उसमें, उसके if you really look at it, जो ईश्वर देता है वो अशाश्वत है. Think about it. है कि नहीं? ईश्वर से मिलता है, कोई और से नहीं. It is coming from Lord only, let us say. Ishwar, so it is said, Kartuhu Ajnaya Palam Prapyate, Tat Palam Ashashvatam. So, क्यों? ये कर्म से होता है ना. So, moksha is not karma janitam. If karma janitam moksham che, tadapi ashashvatam bhavati. So, from Paramarthika standpoint, Vedanta won't accept moksha as karma janitam. It is not karma फल का. ये कर्म से ये फल मिलता है, वो अशाश्वत है. उसके so मोक्ष भी अशाश्वत होगा if it is coming from ईश्वर. ईश्वर अभी मत दे दो. आप नहीं दे सकते. आप जो दे सकते हैं वो कर्म फल है ही है. So, but it is necessary Ishwararthadam, Naityakritam, Chitta Shotakam, Mukti, all that Mukti Sadhana, वो भी बना बताया हुआ है, मुक्ति का साधन ही है। मुक्ति साधकम नहीं, मुक्ति हेतु नहीं। ईश्वरार्पितम कर्म मुक्ति साधकम न मुक्ति हेतु, मुक्ति कारणम नहीं। Right. So, from Vedanta standpoint, what is the role of Ishvaraha? Karma Phaladata. All right. But that cannot be overextended to say Mokshadata api. मोक्ष किसी और से नहीं मिल सकता है। इफ इट इज कमिंग फ्रॉम आउटसाइड, उसका ये अशाश्वत होगा। इज नॉट इट इज गेट गॉट फ्रॉम समथिंग और समबडी, वो शाश्वत नहीं हो सकता है। ये पहले भी नहीं था ना, इट वाज नॉट देयर बिफोर। So that which is not there before and upon getting it, it cannot be permanent. It is not there before means what? It is absent. At least for me, it is absent. So that which was absent before, how can it become permanent? So Vedanta standpoint is मोक्ष ज्ञान से ही मिलता है, वो ईश्वर से नहीं। ईश्वर से here to be understood clearly, huh? Atma is not we are talking about. ईश्वर, one who is giver of karma फल, उससे नहीं मिल सकता है। He can point out, but Bhagavan also very clearly says, Dadami buddhi yogamam yena mamabhyanti, right? I'll give them the knowledge through which they will come to me. मोक्ष कैसे मिलता है ना? मैं I'm not giving it to him. मैं what am I giving? I'll give you knowledge with which he'll come. I'll give you the rope. He picks up that and comes back, comes to me. So here we have to understand that the Vyavaharika Sattayam at the transactional level, Ishvaraha Karma Phaladata. But from Paramarthika standpoint, it cannot be. And this they don't accept. The Yogin or the Sankyans. So therefore, Kahalahayante, we keep debating on this. But Atrapi, who is Ishvara and what he can do, that also there is a refutation, a dispute. And they quote the Vakyas of the Shruti, but that is according to their understanding. Now, in the Patanjali Yoga, there is a mention about the quality of Ishvara, the characteristic of Ishvara. Let's see here. Klesha karma vibhagaistat आशयैरप्यपसंयुतः पुंविशेषो भवेदीशः जीववत्सोऽप्यसङ्गचित् क्लेशकर्म विपाकैस्तत् आशयैरप्यसंयुतः पुंविशेषो भवेदीशः जीववत्सोऽप्यसङ्गचित्. In the Patanjali Yoga Sutras, in the first chapter, 24th verse of Patanjali, Klesha Karma Vibhaga Shayaihi Aparamrishtaha Purusha Visheshaha Ishvaraha. This is the Sutra. Yoga Sutras, starting from the first beginning is, first chapter is concentration. This is a very elaborate and there is a Vyasa's commentary also on that, Sanskrit commentary. Vyasa has given commentary on Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Can you believe that? It's very, I mean, I do not know. I got that one, which is Vyasa's commentary on, Sanskrit commentary on Yoga Sutras. Very interesting. So in that, Klesha, Karma, Vipaga, Ashayaihi, Aparamrishtaha, Purusha Visheshaha, Ishvaraha. Aparamrishtaha means asamprishtaha. Here it's written that word, asamyutaha. Unattached, uninvolved. Unattached is better. Asangaha. He is not affected by any of this. What are those? Klesha, karma, vipaga, ashaya. These four are not affecting Ishvara. According to Yoga Sutras. So what they say is he is free from all these four possible things that can bind a person. So Ishvaraha obviously is mukta. He cannot be one who is bound by Prakriti, as I told you that. Otherwise, he cannot control it. If he is controlling Prakriti, he has to be free from that. If I am bound by Prakriti, then how can I be the controller of that Prakriti? I must be independent, free of that Prakriti, then only I can control it. So therefore, Ishvara by nature is not controlled by Prakriti. And what is that Prakriti? Prakriti is that which controls everything else. And because the Jiva is incapable like that of Ishvara, he cannot control, therefore he is under the control. And that control is called bondage. So according to Yoga Shastra, the Jiva is not able to control like Ishvara, but he is affected by Klesha, Karma, Vipaga, and Ashaya. And therefore, Samyutaha, attached to those things, afflicted by those things, therefore, Jiva is subject to bondage. Bandhabhag. Baddha. Ishvaraha Abaddaha. In Tamil, Abattam means very bad. Huh? Apattam. It's actually not Abaddam. It's a Tamil Baddha, but everything is same only. Pattu, Battu, Biddu, everything, Pattu, everything is good. So you guess. Abaddaha means not bound. So here, why Ishvara is not bound? Because these four things are not affecting him. So now first we'll take Klesha. There are Pancha Kleshas, as you all know. Ajnana, Asmita, Raga, Dvesha, and Abhinivesha. These are the Pancha Kleshas. First one, Avidya, Ajnanam is understood very clearly. Ignorance, self-forgetfulness. I do not know who I am. That is Ajnana. Ajnana is not about things outside. मुझे नहीं मालूम. आपके बारे में खुद के बारे में कुछ नहीं मालूम. Correct? I don't know myself. Self-forgetfulness. I don't know who I am. That is not there in Ishvara. All right. So therefore, first klesha is out. Then Asmita. What is Asmita? Aham asmi, idiba. Ego. I am so and so. I am, proud about who I am. Who I am, whatever I know. I don't know. If I know myself as the self, there is no ego then. Because the moment I know I am the self, suddenly the ego will vanish. Why? Because this self is in everyone. Then why am I ego about? What I have, you also have. Can there be ego? Here you go. What I have is what you have. Then what is the ego about that? I'm a human, I'm very proud. Ego. I am a human. What about you? You can have the ego of the human with the dog, but not with another human being. Huh? What is common among all, you cannot be having ego about it. So if you're getting into a flight and which is only all the seats are business class, how can you be ego about it? I'm going in a business class. I'm also not a big deal. Or in a flight, there's nothing, only one class, Southwest Airlines. No, what is big deal? Oh, I came in A3, you are B24. You may be ego about that. But all of, I'm breathing. What about you? This may ego kya hai? So ego is only about something which I think I'm different from all others. So that is called asmita. So meaning nasmita. Somebody who's, what's your name? Smita. Nowadays the kids are so peculiar. They keep names which are, what's your name? Asmita. Arey bhai, that's a problem. A clash hai bhai. Why are you keeping that name? They keep the name that also. They're knowing kuch pata nahi chalta hai. Easy to pronounce. Asmita. Whatever you do. So here, jnana or asmita, and then third one is raga, attachment to things which one desires to experience or about the experience itself. Obviously, the next one is dvesha, hatred, intolerance, inability to withstand, unwilling to accept what is contrary to my views. That is dvesha. The last one is abhinivesha. Abhinivesha means attachment to existence, attachment to life. Otherwise, fear of death. I don't want to die. So the attachment to life itself is the klesha, which turns out to the other side of the coin is not ready to die. So these 5 kleshas are not there in Ishvara. Asamyutaha. Kleshaihi asamyutaha. It should be understood as kleshaihi asamyutaha. Klesha, it's a compound. Therefore, klesha karma vipakaihi. When it is said, by these one is not affected, asamyutaha, tada ashayaihi asamyutaha. Therefore, kleshaihi asamyutaha. The next one is karmana asamyutaha. By karma, he is not bound. He is not bound by any action. Here, karma can be in twofold. One is what he does, with that he is not affected, and what he did is also is not affected. Bhagavan very often, naiva kinchit karomi. Or he says himself, why? I am here. Name partasya kartavyam. Trusha lokeshu kinchana na anavaptam avaptavyam. Varteva cha karmani. Even though I do not have anything to gain or lose out of this action, even though I am not forced to do anything, I engage. When I engage, when I'm not forced to engage, I remain engaged. Those who understand, understand. Those who don't, I cannot do anything about it. So here, karmana na samyudaha. Vipaka means result, phalam. Karma phalaihi asamyuta. He is not affected by whatever he does as the result of that also. With the result of the action also is not affected. Not only actions do not bind him, not even results bind him. Even though he does that. Even as he does, the results won't touch him. Vipakaihi asamyutah. So, kleshaihi asamyutah, karmana asamyutah, vipakaihi asamyutah. Then the fourth one is most important. Ashaya. Ashaya is vasana. Ashayate. Shashiyate. Meaning that lies down as an impression. So anything that is done by us or anything that we experience in this world leave impressions. Right? Good or bad. Those impressions are not affecting the Ishvara. Vasana rahitaha, or he the one who is not under the control or the push and pull of vasanas. Because it is vasana that is making us engage in action, looking for results, or we are trying to repeat those experiences, or want to avoid certain experiences. All those past impressions are those which are controlling our behavior, attitude, engagement, disengagement, all that. Ishvaraha is one who is free of that. So, kleshaihi, karmana, vipagaihi, ashayaihi, asamyutaha, Ishvaraha. Klesha karma vibagaistat ashayairapya samyutaha. And he is, no doubt, he is also Chaitanam only. Therefore, Pum Visheshaha. Purusheshu Visheshaha. Purusheshu Uttamaha. Purushottama. He is Uttama Purushaha. Why? Why he is called Uttama Purusha? He is also Purusha only. Purusha in the sense, essentially Chaitana. Here, Purusha to be understood as a Chaitana Tattva, one who has Chaitanya. He is also Purusha, but of this superior nature, because all others are under the control of karma in the form of klesha, karma, vipaka, and ashaya. Not that. That is how he is excelling. He is above that. So, as it is said in 15th chapter, what is it? Sharas sarvani bhutani kutastokshara uchadaha uttama purushastu anyaha. There paramatma iti udivada. So Purushottama here in general, in the context of, when we say transactional context, Ishvaraha is a Purushottama. In what way? Pum Visheshaha Bhaved Ishaha. Ishaha Pum Visheshaha. One who is of the special kind, who is free of all these things. Jivavat api. Even though he has the qualities like that of the jiva. So, jivavat api, saha api, bas asangachit. So, the difference between jiva and Ishvara is only one. One is attached, one is not. This is the difference between that. Sangachit jivaha, asangachit Ishvara. The chit attached to prakriti is jiva. Chit unattached to prakriti is Ishvaraha. Chit, which is under the control and influence of karma, vipaka, and then karma, what's that? Sorry, klesha, karma, vipaka, ashaya is jiva. One who is not attached to that is Ishvara. This is the standpoint of yogis. Patanjali Yoga Sutras. Very appealing, no doubt. Yeah, man, that's what I thought. So it's very close to what he is talking Vedanta only there. But the difference is there also, there where Vedanta stands away from it. Okay, next class we'll see how these are all, how they differentiate between, in Vedanta, how do we differentiate Ishvara? Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ।